In tonight's Fact or Fiction, we're looking into a picture circulating online this month. It claims to show a screenshot from a 2002 episode of The Simpsons that eerily mirrors real-life events. The image depicts Donald Trump touching a glowing orb with two Middle Eastern-looking men. Interestingly, last month, President Trump did exactly that with the King of Saudi Arabia and the President of Egypt. So, did The Simpsons really predict the future? For a sitcom that has earned the distinction of being the longest-running American sitcom, The Simpsons has achieved yet another remarkable reputation over the years. It is now famously recognized as the show with an uncanny knack for predicting events that transcend time. From the rise of Donald Trump to the Disney-Fox merger, The Simpsons has showcased an almost supernatural foresight through its storytelling, rarely missing the mark. As we approach 2025, fans are buzzing with excitement and curiosity about what the eccentric residents of Springfield might foresee next. What have they predicted for 2025? Could their predictions shape the larger picture of our future? Join us as we reveal The Simpsons' prediction for 2025 that will blow your mind. One of the most notable instances was when they predicted that Donald Trump would become president. Now, fans are drawing parallels to last week's inauguration. Another striking prediction involves an extremely large-scale environmental disaster. One of the most overlooked predictions by The Simpsons is the warning of an impending large-scale environmental catastrophe. This scenario was vividly portrayed in The Simpsons movie, released in 2007. In the film, Springfield experiences an ecological disaster that prompts the government to quarantine the entire town under a massive glass dome. While the movie doesn't specify a timeline for such an event, its message is clear. Unchecked environmental negligence could lead to drastic consequences. Given the increasing frequency of climate-related disasters, it's hard not to wonder if this fictional scenario might become alarmingly real, potentially as soon as next year. This year has already witnessed a series of devastating environmental disasters worldwide. In the U.S. alone, climate events have cost the government over $15 billion in damages. From destructive hailstorms in Texas and Colorado to severe tornado outbreaks and record-breaking heat waves affecting Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, the impact has been catastrophic. Wildfires in California and Oregon have destroyed thousands of acres, while drought conditions in the Southeast and floods in the Midwest have exacerbated the situation. Other regions, such as Southern Europe and parts of Asia, have faced similar predicaments, leading to thousands of deaths and widespread infrastructure failures. It's a grim reminder of our planet's fragile nature, something The Simpsons seem to have foreseen. Scientists warn that without coordinated global action, these frequent disasters are bound to converge into an even larger catastrophe. Alarmingly, it may already be too late. With disasters compounding this year, we may face even worse consequences in 2025. This raises a question. Can we build something akin to a protective dome for the world? While it sounds far-fetched, so did many of The Simpsons' predictions until they became reality. Another intriguing prediction from The Simpsons is the colonization of Mars. In a scene from season 27, episode 16, Lisa shows interest in signing up for the Mars One mission, much to her family's dismay. When they cannot dissuade her, Marge joins Lisa, and eventually, they become the only ones left in the program. The episode fast-forwards 35 years, showing Marge and Lisa living on Mars. At first, this seemed like an outlandish dream, but with Elon Musk at the forefront of space exploration, this prediction is beginning to materialize faster than expected. Musk's SpaceX project has focused on Mars colonization for over a decade. He announced this initiative at the International Astronautical Congress in 2016, proposing to send cargo to the planet as a first step toward making this ambitious dream a reality. As these predictions from The Simpsons unfold, they continue to amaze fans worldwide. Whether it's environmental disaster or the colonization of Mars, the show's foresight challenges us to imagine the possibilities of our future. The mission to Mars has not been completed yet. Still, that doesn't change the fact that the SpaceX company has made quite a lot of progress. Having gotten a proper layout and overview of the planet, they are a step further to accomplishing the cargo missions to Mars in the first quarter of the year. In all honesty, this would be a great achievement for mankind. However, this is only a primary goal for Elon Musk's SpaceX. The main goal is to send humans down to Mars to colonize the planet, and it's likely to happen in 2025. Elon Musk said it himself at the Start MapHK festival in Hong Kong. He said that our very sustenance as human beings relies on us going to Mars. SpaceX just successfully landed its most ambitious mission to Mars after a 7-month journey through space. The rover, called Perseverance, survived a perilous high-speed plunge through the Martian atmosphere. In his words, "Since you back up your hard drive, we should back up life too." It gets even more interesting. Apparently, while the billionaire was talking to the moderator at the forum, he also hinted at how human missions are bound to start in 2025 despite the doubts about the company's technical and financial abilities to colonize the planet. In truth, the mission is in motion already. Elon's recent investments have all been to generate the revenue needed to see to the accomplishment of this mission. So when you finally see humans on Mars, just know that the Simpsons saw it first. Suppression of green energy is a growing concern. Do you know how the world is slowly transitioning toward the complete adoption of solar vehicles and EVs? Well, it seems like not everyone is particularly excited about this development. A vivid depiction of this displeasure can be seen in a recent episode of The Simpsons titled Paths to Glory. In this episode, Lisa Simpson, who happens to be a renowned inventor, builds a solar-powered vehicle that she uses in a roller derby. Although she was barely a fraction of a mile from winning, a Duff blimp blocks out the sun and reduces her speed to 0 before she crosses the finish line. Of course, the whole thing led to the townspeople laughing at her invention as a failure. Normally, this scene could be easily overlooked. Still, when properly looked at in the grand scheme of things and the Simpsons' ability to predict future events, we just simply can't turn a blind eye to how this could relate to a possible event likely to unfold in 2025. It turns out that while companies like Tesla continue to build EVs and solar-powered vehicles, big oil companies like ExxonMobil aren't really excited, and it's easy to figure out why. As these vehicles continue to take on the roads, sales of oil would reduce drastically, hence causing the companies to run out of business. Because the companies know the implications involved, they have long been looking for faults in EVs and solar-powered vehicles. Automakers across the world are racing to produce a future free of fossil fuels, but the electric car of tomorrow is anything but traditional. This is the future. Meet the Aptera, a 3-wheeled electric vehicle that can run on the power of the sun, one that would likely shift the purchase of automobiles in their favor. Just to tell you how desperate they are, there was even a time when a subsidiary of ExxonMobil, Mobil Oil, launched an ad campaign against EVs. The ad read, "Freedom means not being attached to a cable. Disconnecting feels a lot like breaking free." Imagine that. With the global adoption of EVs already surpassing 10 million, ExxonMobil is starting to do more than ad campaigns. As a matter of fact, while they look towards the suppression of these vehicles, they have outlined a couple of goals for the year 2025 to win back the trust of customers. One of them is to look for a means to reduce their carbon footprint and invest in lower carbon alternatives. While at it, they still work behind the scenes by lobbying against legislation that promotes EV infrastructure and regulatory policies favoring renewable energy in various U.S. states. Exxon and other oil-backed groups have even partnered with organizations like the American Petroleum Institute to oppose plans that would expand EV charging stations. This is more like putting their very own Duff blimp out there to make people see how solar vehicles and EVs are a failure. That said, we might be seeing a significant shift in 2025. If that happens, The Simpsons predicted it first. Talking about automobiles, there's a chance that we are going to be seeing flying cars in 2025. Yes, you heard that right. We are talking about actual flying cars. A perfect description of what this would be like was seen in the 1992 episode titled Itchy and Scratchy Land. In this episode, Bart and Lisa got to see their future thanks to a machine that Professor Frink invented. However, Bart's own future wasn't really as exciting as Lisa's. Apparently, in Bart's future, he ended up spending all their savings just to get one of these flying cars as it was seen as a normal ride at the time. Imagine just how furious Marge must have been. Well, we aren't here to question Bart's comedic bad choices. What you should pay attention to is the presence of flying cars in this episode. If we had talked about the possibility of there being flying cars, say maybe a decade ago, many would have laughed over the idea as being ridiculous. Heck, even in this present time of ours, for many, it is something to be skeptical about. However, what if we tell you that we might be seeing cars in the air in 2025? Still don't believe it? Well, the company known as Samsung Sky has stepped up to make the unbelievable happen. Samsung Sky's revolutionary Switchblade has been on a mission to redefine personal transportation since 2008. Their goal has always been to ensure the convenience of a car by incorporating both the speed and functionality of an aircraft. While tests and experiments have been ongoing behind the scenes for years, they are finally ready to release their flying sports cars to the public in 2025. Just to tell you how much people are excited for these cars that are about to take to the roads, there are already over 1,600 pre-orders worldwide. Still, the number slowly continues to increase. By our estimation and that of The Simpsons, by the time the car would be officially released, they would rapidly become so rampant that you'd casually see them in the skies while taking a walk. While the company was giving a hint on what to expect, they said the vehicle is a three-wheeled hybrid machine that is capable of converting from a car to an aircraft in less than 3 minutes. They also pointed out how it could reach speeds of up to 201 kilometers per hour on the road and cruise in the skies at 257 kilometers per hour. As if that's not enough, the car is bound to fit just about any small airstrip and any garage. Pretty cool, right? In a few months, we wouldn't have to worry about the means to bypass urban traffic anymore. Clearly, this is one of the most exciting news stories out there, and we bet you didn't see that one coming. Although you might have never imagined the possibility of flying cars, The Simpsons did. Our advice? It's best to keep about $200,000 aside for the car that's coming to take to the skies. You definitely don't want to end up like Bart. That would be a shame. Which of The Simpsons predictions do you see happening in 2025? How soon do you think they are bound to happen? The show depicts him as a washed-up actor who has lost his charm and fame, reduced to doing low-budget movies and struggling to stay relevant. This brief scene was meant to be a joke, but fans have started to wonder if there's more to it. Over time, surprisingly, as we enter 2024, the prediction seems to carry a strange weight. George Clooney, known for his roles in blockbuster films and status as a Hollywood icon, has stepped back from the limelight in recent years. While Clooney is still respected and admired, his acting career has taken a quieter turn, with fewer significant roles and more focus on directing, producing, and his philanthropic efforts. This shift in his career mirrors the fictional fall from grace that The Simpsons hinted at. But what makes this prediction intriguing is the strange accuracy with which The Simpsons has previously forecasted other events. Clooney's career isn't that bad, as the show joked. Still, the idea of a beloved star fading from the spotlight feels oddly familiar in the context of a series' strange foresight. One of The Simpsons' most fascinating predictions is coming to life, with the idea of holograms taking over various aspects of our lives. This idea was first mentioned in a 1995 episode, Homer the Great. In this episode, Homer joins a secret society called the Stonecutters. Here it is, the Stonecutters, this is it, my ticket in. They have to let me join if I'm a son of a member. Here, Homer is treated like a VIP and even encounters a futuristic holographic version of himself. Flash forward to 2024, and holograms are no longer just a quirky part of TV shows. They are becoming an integral part of our daily lives. Companies like Microsoft are developing HoloLens, a mixed reality headset. Mixed reality allows us to find new ways to express creatively and also problem-solve creatively. It blends digital content with the natural world using augmented reality, AR. It features see-through lenses that project holographic images onto the user's accurate worldview, allowing users to interact with both physical and virtual objects simultaneously. Now, you might actually be right if you think they're starting to replace real-life interactions. For example, companies use holograms for virtual product launches and promotional events. In some places, holographic customer service representatives answer questions and solve issues, making businesses more efficient. But what's particularly intriguing is how The Simpsons managed to foresee this trend decades ago. Now, as holograms become more sophisticated and widespread, it feels like the show was ahead of its time. envisioning a future where digital and physical worlds merge more seamlessly. One of the most intriguing Simpsons predictions has come true, with Disney acquiring 20th Century Fox. Disney owns The Simpsons, and I kind of remember that The Simpsons predicted this just a couple of years ago. They predict all sorts of things. It's really, really scary. So, take a look at this. This was back in 1998. They had a sign that read 20th Century Fox, a division of Walt Disney. That was in 1998. This prediction first appeared in the show's Bart to the Future episode in 1999. In this episode, Lisa Simpson, now an adult and the President of the United States, mentions that her administration is dealing with the aftermath of Disney's purchase of 20th Century Fox. At the time, Disney's acquisition of Fox seemed like a far-fetched idea, but in 2017, it became a reality. Disney announced it. Disney bought most of 21st Century Fox's assets for $71.3 billion. This included famous movie studios, TV networks, and a treasure trove of beloved franchises. The deal, finalized in March 2019, meant that Disney now owned iconic Fox properties like The Simpsons, Avatar, and X-Men. The prediction in The Simpsons was striking because it showed how the show often mixes humor with surprisingly accurate foresight. Lisa's mention of Disney's acquisition of Fox was more than just a funny gag. It hinted at the possibility of significant media consolidation long before it happened. This merger reshaped the entertainment industry, combining Disney's expansive content with Fox's rich library, leading to a powerhouse in media and entertainment. By predicting this significant media merger, the show once again proved its knack for anticipating future trends and events. The Simpsons' prediction about an artificial intelligence apocalypse gained much attention in 2024. In a 1994 episode titled Treehouse of Horror V, the show portrayed a frightening scenario where Homer's attempts to create a new AI robot led to chaos. The AI, originally designed to help, quickly turned against humans, reflecting fears about technology getting out of control. This storyline was pure fiction but resonated with real-world concerns. Fast forward to 2024, and AI has become a significant topic in tech and media. With advancements in AI, from chatbots to complex algorithms, there's growing debate about the potential dangers. Some worry that as AI becomes more advanced, it could lead to unintended consequences if not carefully managed. The Simpsons episode humorously exaggerated these fears, showing a world where AI becomes a rogue force, controlling and threatening humanity. While AI doesn't currently threaten our existence, the show's scenario captures ongoing discussions about AI ethics, safety, and regulation. 16 years ago, The Simpsons eerily predicted Donald Trump would be president. The line, as you know, "We've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump," nailed another prediction. In 2015, an episode titled The Birds and the Bees featured a shocking plot twist. Lisa Simpson reading a futuristic newspaper headline about Trump running for president again in 2024. At the time, it seemed like a far-fetched joke, as Trump was still in his first term. Fast forward to 2024, and Trump's re-election bid became a reality. Trump, who had served as the 45th president from 2017 to 2021, announced his campaign for a second term. The timing and accuracy of this prediction have left many viewers astounded. In a classic display of The Simpsons' strange ability to predict the future, the 1994 episode Lisa the Skeptic featured a fascinating prophecy involving the Nobel Prize. Lisa and her friends made predictions for the Nobel Prize winners, and one of the names mentioned was Bengt Holmstrom, a real-life economist. This prediction was incredibly accurate, as Holmstrom, alongside another economist, Oliver Hart, won the Nobel Prize in Economic Sciences. Holmstrom's work on contract theory, which deals with how contracts and incentives shape behavior in economics, was recognized for its profound impact. This episode aired over 20 years before Holmstrom's Nobel win, making it an impressive example of the show's foresight. In 2024, The Simpsons made two predictions that came true: the release of the Barbie movie and Donald Trump's arrest. Years before Barbie's big-screen debut became a reality in 2023, a 2007 episode featured a scene where Martin Prince had a Barbie movie poster. It was a brief and quirky reference, but predicted a film that would make waves over a decade later. Similarly, in a 2015 episode, the show depicted a fictional news report about Trump being arrested, a scenario that now, in 2024, has come true. Trump's legal issues and the Barbie movie's success left viewers astonished at the show's uncanny accuracy. In another example of eerie foresight, The Simpsons predicted Greece's economic troubles in a 2014 crossover episode titled The Simpsons Guy. The episode humorously depicted Greece as financially distressed, with jokes about its economic problems. This portrayal, while exaggerated for comedic effect, foreshadowed the real-life financial crisis that Greece faced shortly afterward. Greece experienced severe financial challenges, including high debt levels, unemployment, and austerity measures. The episode's accurate prediction of Greece's economic troubles highlights the show's surprising ability to anticipate global events. In the 1994 episode Lisa the Beauty Queen, The Simpsons made a playful prediction about autocorrect fails. Lisa uses a device resembling an early touchscreen, but her message becomes hilariously garbled due to an autocorrect-like feature. This humorous take on technology foreshadowed the real-world autocorrect issues that became common with smartphones. While designed to correct typing errors, autocorrect often produces comically incorrect results, much like the scene in the episode. This off-the-cuff joke has become eerily true in the 21st century, reflecting The Simpsons' ability to capture the quirks of technological advancements. People have shared countless funny stories and screenshots of autocorrect fails where messages turn into bizarre and unintended phrases. While the show didn't predict autocorrect per se, it did anticipate the humorous potential of technology failing us in everyday scenarios. In a surprising twist, The Simpsons seemed to predict a controversial debate about censoring famous art. The episode in question is The Birds and the Bees, aired in 1992. In this episode, the town of Springfield debates whether to censor Michelangelo's iconic statue of David. More than 1 million people visit the statue of David every year. It is the most iconic piece in one of the most visited museums in Florence. The plot revolves around Mr. Burns, who decides to sponsor a new exhibit at the Springfield Museum. He chooses Michelangelo's David, but the town's more conservative residents demand that the statue be covered up because of its nudity. Fast forward to recent years, and similar controversies have occurred globally. In 2024, there were debates about whether public displays of Michelangelo's David should be censored or altered to fit modern sensibilities. This debate often revolves around decency and cultural values, mirroring the fictional scenario in The Simpsons. In a twist that left many astonished, The Simpsons seemed to predict the famous Siegfried and Roy tiger attack years before it happened. This prediction is one of the show's most scary and intriguing examples of seemingly foreseeing real-life events. In 1993, The Simpsons aired an episode called Springfield, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love Legalized Gambling. In this episode, Mr. Burns builds a casino in Springfield and hires a German magician duo, Gunter and Ernst, who closely resemble the real-life illusionists Siegfried and Roy. During their performance, one of the magicians is attacked by a white tiger. What if I told you this scene mirrors a shocking real-life event years later? During a live performance in Las Vegas, Siegfried and Roy's show took a dramatic turn when Roy Horn was attacked by one of their white tigers. The attack was severe and nearly ended Roy's life, making headlines around the world. The resemblance between the fictional attack in the episode and the real-life incident was uncanny, sparking intrigue among fans and critics alike. In another case of eerie accuracy, The Simpsons depicted the U.S. men's curling team winning gold. In the episode's Boy Meets Curl, aired in 2010, Homer and Marge become an unlikely curling team and win a gold medal at the Olympics, with Sweden taking the silver. Fast forward to the Winter Olympics, and the real-life U.S. men's curling team achieved a stunning victory that made fans remember this episode. Led by skip John Schuster, the U.S. team won the gold medal, while Sweden claimed the silver, just as the show had portrayed. The episode depicted Homer and Marge's victory as an unexpected and dramatic upset, much like how surprising the real U.S. team's win was. Before the Olympics, Curling wasn't a strong suit for the US, and many had low expectations for their performance. The show's storyline about an underdog team winning against the odds captured what really went down in reality. In the Simpsons episodes Deep Space Homer, Homer Simpson becomes an astronaut and ends up on a space mission. The show, aired in 1994, playfully imagined space travel and hinted at future colonization. Homer's adventures in space seemed like a far-off fantasy back then. Still, this episode mirrors real-life developments in space exploration in recent years. The idea of colonizing Mars has moved from fiction to serious scientific discussion. Companies like SpaceX, led by Elon Musk, are working on technology to send humans to Mars and establish a colony there. The ambition to make Mars a new home for humanity has captured the imagination of scientists, engineers, and space enthusiasts alike. While comedic, the show's portrayal of space missions tapped into the real-world fascination with exploring new frontiers. As real-life plans to colonize Mars become more concrete, it's striking how closely these developments echo the show's playful take on space exploration. This connection between fiction and reality has continued to stun fans of the show and scientists alike. In the Simpsons episode The Springfield Connection, aired in 1996, a humorous subplot features music being used for mind control. In the episode, a rock band uses a music player as a mind control device, a comical take on the power of music. However, recent developments in technology and psychology make this idea seem surprisingly relevant. Music's impact on our emotions and behaviors has been well documented. Studies reveal that specific tunes can change our mood, improve focus, or influence our choices. This phenomenon is utilized in various fields, such as marketing and therapy, where music helps guide our emotional responses and decisions. Technological advances have furthered this concept. Neurotechnology, which involves manipulating brain activity through sound and other stimuli, is progressing. While it's not yet possible to control thoughts directly, it's clear that music and sound significantly affect our mental state. The Simpsons had already humorously imagined a future where music could be used for mind control, and this playful prediction mirrors real-world research and technological advancements. What do you think about these strange but accurate predictions of The Simpsons? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to Expedition Diaries for more.